Hi, boys and girls. Today, we're really going to talk about not only how your voice sounds, but how you can change your voice and the expressions on your face when you read. So, we're thinking about what you want to perform, but not only what you perform, but how you perform with it. So, I was trying to think about a book that might have some good feelings at the beginning. And I remember when I was in first grade, my teacher read Charlotte's Web to me. And I always remember that time because I love to sit around her rocking chair and listen to it. So I'm going to try and read the beginning of Charlotte's Web to you. And you're going to watch how my voice changes and watch how my face changes. And think about when you read your story to the class, how you want your voice to change and your face to look. So here we go. Charlotte's Web, Chapter 1. Where's Papa going with that axe? Said Fern to her mother as they were sitting at the table for breakfast. Out to the hog house, replied Mrs. Arabelle. Some pigs were born last night. Oh, I don't see why he needs that axe, continued Fern, who was only 8. Well, said her mother, one of the pigs is a runt. He's very small and weak. It'll never amount to anything. So your father's decided to do away with it. Do away with it, shrieked Fern. Do you mean kill it? Just because it's smaller than the others? Mrs. Arable put a pitcher of cream on the table. Don't yell, Fern, she said. Your father's right. The pig would probably die anyway. Fern pushed her chair out of the way and ran outdoors. The grass was wet and the earth smelled of springtime. Fern's sneakers were sopping by the time she caught up with her father. Please don't kill it, she sobbed. It's unfair. Mr. Arable stopped walking. Fern, he said gently, you will just have to learn to control yourself. Control myself, yelled Fern. This is a matter of life and death. You're talking about controlling myself? Tears ran down her cheeks as she took hold of the axe and tried to pull it out of her father's hand. Fern, said Mr. Arable, now I know more about raising the litter of pigs than you do, and a weakling makes trouble. Now run along. But it's unfair, cried Fern. A pig couldn't help being born small, could it? If I'd been very small at birth, would you have killed me? Mr. Arable smiled. Certainly not, he said, looking down at his daughter with love. But this is different. A little girl is one thing, and a runty pig is another. I see no difference, replied Fern, still hanging onto his axe. This is the most terrible case of injustice I've ever heard of. Queer look came over Mr. Arable's face, and he almost was ready to cry himself. All right, he says, you go back to the house and I'll bring the runt when I come in and I'll let you start it on a bottle like a baby. Then you'll see what trouble a pig can be. Okay, boys and girls, this is my favorite beginning to a story of a book. Probably kind of exciting for a children's book, right? So we could see Fern had a lot of emotion, right? And her dad listened to her, didn't he? So I hope you enjoyed while I read that, and you noticed that Fern had a lot of feeling in her voice because she wanted to save Wilbur, right? So I hope that you can find a book that you really enjoy. It might be a nonfiction book, but it might be a story like this. It could be a poem that you choose to read. I hope you can find something to read and think about today practice, like, where am I going to make my voice change, and how am I going to show that in my face, right? Or my hands while I read. Okay, boys and girls, I'm sure you'll be great storytellers, and I bet your performance will be great. Good luck in practicing today.